The Walking Dead with Joel and Jeremy. My name's Joel.
I'm Jeremy. You can, I forgot all of it. It's been so
Come
long.
on.
Check out all of our social media sites at thishowtowatchtv.com and email us at TWD with Joel and Jeremy at gmail.com. All right.
Yeah. TWD as in The Walking Dead with Joel and
He's like the
Jeremy.com.
camera guy giving me
No,
one line.
damn it. You made me say it wrong too. TWD with Joel and Jeremy at gmail.com.
That's
If
correct.
you have questions or comments or suggestions on us learning our own web email address, for example, or what an email address is called.
Just type it over and over again and send it to us.
Unbelievable. It's been a long
Come
time.
on.
You know what's been going on? Nothing.
There's been no TV,
There's
man.
been no Game of Thrones. And
Well,
that was
that-
supposed to be our podcast that fills the time between the last episodes of The Walking Dead, Season 8, and now. But no, now we're rusty. All we've done is nothing in the meantime.
Well,
I mean, podcast-wise.
podcast and TV-wise, I've watched a bunch of garbage.
Yeah,
I
nothing
mean,
good.
like, nothing of any substance, no, really.
So the trailer finally came out around Comic-Con time, I guess, right? I don't know when that is.
Seasons of Grimm.
6 seasons of Grimm. Yeah, he kept telling me. I popped in on like season 2 and 3, and he's like,
No,
Look,
like every time he come in, it'd be like the worst possible, most Power Ranger-ish thing
it
going
was
on.
garbage, yes.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It was not good. No, and I suffered through 6
And he's
seasons
like,
of it.
oh, but I hear it gets good. And I'm
I
like,
didn't say I hear. I was like, I'm hoping. So I'm hoping it gets good.
well, because it was 5-star or something
It was.
like
It
that.
had a 5-star rating on Prime Video.
On Prime Video. Don't have a Prime Video.
5-star.
So the trailer. Thoughts on the trailer when it came out? I mean,
Well, I mean, aside from the talking walker at the end of it,
I don't think it's a talking walker.
Come
I think it's
on.
somebody who's.
that would make it much more interesting.
I mean, okay, I'll give you that. Shit, I would be at
If they could
1,000% if they could
organize-
start if the walkers became the
organize?
bad guys, like, and I mean that in like they organize,
yeah,
collective
and then you
bad.
have like a fucking armored up walker with leading the charge of dead. Then
Okay,
it just becomes Game of Thrones.
right. So now that we've talked through the most ridiculous stuff you could think of, let's go into what actually happened.
The most ridiculous. That's exactly what happens in Game of Thrones. Why is it so ridiculous? Spoiler alert. Sorry.
But so the trailer, I don't understand why they did the Rick Grimes last episodes thing. Like, do you think it's just
What?
to tamper down expectations, or to make it so people don't feel misled by it, or
What do you mean? Listen, mislead. What do you misled about? People have been saying that for a long time now, and usually once where there's smoke, there's fire. So,
wait, where was there smoke and fire? What are you talking about?
Andrew Lincoln
About
leaving
him
the
leaving?
show?
I didn't know people were talking about that necessarily. I
Yeah, there's
mean,
been
we
things-
always
we've said it,
speculated
yeah,
he'd be
you-
there for 7 seasons.
I guess that's what I
because-
mean by saying that.
Because 7 is the usual actor contract, like
Right.
the commitment that you have
Well,
to
he's
sign
been there
for.
8 now, right?
Well, 9. This is
9.
Yeah,
If he does the whole season.
right. Which supposedly he's just doing the first 8.
I mean,
But
okay.
that, to me, that's a spoiler.
Totally.
I mean,
Totally.
ki-
I
you
had
know
no,
what would be
listen, like I
great?
said, we had discussed that, but
Kill him off next episode. That will surprise me. That would be awesome.
if they killed him off like that,
Yeah,
right in the beginning
just
of
like
the season.
boom. What? Like nothing. I mean, that would be probably the only thing that would shock me at this point.
Did we see anything in any of the trailers beyond what we saw in this episode?
With Rick in it?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. Oh, since we're at the beginning,
Okay.
new beginning,
Okay.
loved it.
Oh, with the new opening?
new open.
Well, we weren't quite there yet, but yeah.
Oh, that's right. Well, I mean, it was just
No, new
You know what I mean? I
opening.
forgot
Because there
because
was,
they called it
when I looked it up,
cold open.
when I saw there was a new season 9 opening, and you know what I was looking forward to? Getting the new look of the words The Walking Dead to see how much more decrepit it was.
Well, that's
than
what we
the
always look
previous
forward
season.
to. Yeah. And it was
And then it was like, wait a minute, they changed it all. And at first I was like, something doesn't feel right. It's just, why take away the thing that was so awesome all this time? You know what I mean? Like, that was super creepy the way it was. But
Do you
then,
mean the
but then when
open? The whole open or just the
whole
walk-
opening? I mean, they evolved it, but like the style of it, where it
They
was the
still
real
kept
life
it, I
version.
think.
They
I
did.
still think they did.
It
I
took
think
me a
they-
minute to
I
get
think they
used
kept-
to the new one.
I think they kept that. I think they did keep that style of it, and then they kept the same. They didn't change the music. When you said new open, I thought I considered right away there was new music.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
good.
that's
I'm
what-
glad I
that's kinda-
misled you. So you
A little
were
bit,
less,
because I don't think
yeah.
you did it intentionally, but like I
No.
think that it was like I was like, oh, new open, like new theme music. That's tough for me to get used to.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't change that.
How right?
It almost
Or I like when they keep the same thing and change it slightly. Kind of like I wasn't. I don't know if we ever like found out for sure, but Westworld was like the open for season 2 was slightly different.
think it
wasn't
was,
from like just
yeah.
a few notes or something here and there was
Right.
different like that. I like, but no, they kept the open music. Just this whole brand new look graphically was really really cool. I thought
Yeah.
they did a good job with that.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like they're taking it away from where it started.
The comic book, it's
I didn't even mean that. I meant getting away from where the show started.
well a
Which
new
was,
beginning.
Yeah, I mean, like literally just going, hey, look, this could go on for a while. Why wouldn't you want to see more in this world? You know what I mean? And especially with this one, just broad strokes speaking about it, like them going out into the world was fun as hell.
So by the end of this episode, our episode, I'm sorry, I was just a little
No, go
out
ahead,
there, but,
carry
like,
on.
We need to make a since the spoilers out there, they put it out there themselves. We can each make a prediction of how Rick dies
Okay.
and see how close either one of us get.
By the end of this episode?
This our podcast right now. So we make that since it's out there. Rick
Okay.
Grimes' last episode. How
How-
does it?
how do you think Rick's gonna die?
How do you think he's gonna die? How do you think he's gonna die? And what episode? Maybe not.
Okay.
Okay. What episode do you think is gonna happen?
Can we say this? Can we say we'll give a T-shirt away to whichever person posts
Sure, why not?
a comment of the day of the episode and the way? Like if somebody gets it.
Well, I mean,
or
like
the
there's so many
closest.
different ways.
But the
like,
closest.
Like, so I don't want it's like somebody to be like, like Maggie hits him in the side of the head with a golf club. You know what I mean? Like,
Right, but
it
just
doesn't have
broad
to be that
strokes.
specific. Like, yes, like if they get the episode right and he gets eaten by a zombie or gets killed by a human. You know, like
Real broad strokes,
something
yeah.
like that, like
Accident.
shot by a human, or he gets killed by accident, like Carl did.
Yeah.
Like something like that. Like if you
Right.
can give us that in the episode, yeah, we'll give you a free T-shirt.
Right?
What kind
How
of
to watch
T-shirt?
TV: The Walking Dead shirt.
Okay,
Right?
Yeah,
Why not?
all
We
right.
can make that.
we'll make it. Sure.
Just put that on the TV instead of the.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Done. Anyway, so Alexandria is growing.
We have to make sure to follow through on that. If somebody gets it right.
Right. Okay. Let me
So-
write it down.
Right.
T-shirt.
But like, I never got my
For,
fucking T-shirt, man.
Winner of guessing. This is riveting podcast.
It is. Well,
When
we're just coming
Rick
up with
dies
this is show writing
and
on the show.
How?
Anyway,
Okay. I'll make that really bold.
so that we'll
and
do that at the end of
huge.
this episode. We'll make a prediction on how Rick dies. We'll make our predictions.
How's that? Now I can't forget
Right.
it. Okay, so yeah, Alexandria is growing. It looks like
All the communities are.
Michonne and Judith are painting, and she drew Carl
Alexandria.
and
so
Daddy's
what's
big tummy.
right? The 5 communities. Is there 5?
Yeah. Wait.
Alexandria, Oceanside, Sanctuary, Hills Up. So 4? Or is there one I'm missing?
I can't think of another one. I mean,
So there's 4.
because Junkyard's no longer a thing.
No, they're
She's
all
now
wiped out.
Anne rather than Jadis.
Right.
Let's see. The big doing birds at the beginning, where there was just like a billion birds flying. That was
Yeah,
so
really cool shot though. Yeah.
I wonder if that was like
The
they got
swirling,
the shot
like-
of the birds before and then CGI'd them in or something, or if they were really there and got that. Like that's a common thing in that area where they know all these birds gather in the morning. So if we sneak out there, you know what I mean, and we could get the shot and scare the birds and they'd all move. It's not like they're stunt birds. I don't think they have working birds like that.
They do.
If that many?
Why not?
That'd be
I mean, you
pretty
could look
hard
it up,
to get
but,
them
like,
to fly
I don't
in
know
like
that, like-
formations like that.
I mean,
don't know.
the fucking
Maybe.
like The Walking Dead's got to have a pretty sizable budget at this point, right?
Working birds, you think? You think they're working birds, or do you think they were just regular birds?
I don't know. Chances are they were regular birds, and it was just a really cool shot that they got by chance, or like you said, they planned it.
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
they said,
I think
well,
they saw it.
Not that
and-
they had all the birds, but they're like, oh, hey, that'd be a cool shot for the show. You know, these birds fly out
right.
every morning. I mean, like, how do they get like the nature shots and the documentaries? I mean, like, it wasn't any better than one of those fucking crazy like they get like
that
a
shit doesn't
fucking
make any sense.
25 times zoom of a fucking raindrops on a bug. I mean,
Right.
they can get some birds.
It's a raindrop on a bug. So at the sanctuary, people are working, building more motorcycles. You know,
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, they were all building motorcycles there. Daryl was kind of supervising. I didn't
Motorcycles
realize
are a
until-
very feasible means of transportation. Light on gas.
right.
Probably can make them run on corn fuel, like they were talking about.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
They put a walker up as a scarecrow on the Bolton's house sigil.
Yeah, but he didn't like that.
No.
Daryl didn't like that.
But I didn't realize even at that point that he was in charge. Like when he shot it, I thought he was just, I don't know. I just thought he was just like, yeah, no, fuck that. That's dumb.
You know, like Daryl doesn't, like, he's the reluctant leader. He doesn't want that responsibility. He even says it in
Well,
this episode.
yeah, obviously he
that, but,
doesn't
like,
want it.
You could always tell Daryl's in charge. Like, he's one of the people that everybody looks up to. It just is what it is. Like, he doesn't want it, but it just happens because he's
But like,
one of the
wouldn't-
leaders.
Wouldn't that be weird though at the sanctuary? Because all they knew him as was the guy wearing the A shirt.
Right. Well, they defeated Negan. That's the reality now.
Yeah.
Negan was
Yeah.
beat.
Daryl and Jerry
So-
pass each other on a bridge that's collapsing, presumably setting up that now this is a thing that they have to worry about when traveling. You know that the
Like weather.
structures are going to eventually do. You know they can't repair a bridge necessarily, or maybe they can. Who knows?
Well, they said they were going to. They have
Yeah,
a
they're gonna
blacksmith that
try.
can make. Blacksmith works with metals.
Right.
Like, can
I have a
melt.
feeling they're going to trains. Like this is this is going to become the Old West. Like,
That's
oh my God, what if this is a prequel to life? Like to our society? It already was here, and then it's now it goes back and starts over again, and we go Old West, and then we get that episode of Back to the Future where Doc Brown and Marty go back, and the train is the time machine.
He's wearing that stupid pink outfit.
He was wearing a pink outfit.
Oh, you don't remember that? That's what he
No.
got sent back in originally when he first went back into the Old West. He was wearing this crazy fucking pink outfit that he bought at the department
yeah,
store.
yeah.
And they finally changed him in some regular like Old West gear with the serape.
Right.
Right.
I love the city shots as
It's just like that, as a matter of fact.
right. I love the city shots as Rick and Michonne ride through on horseback. So
The city
I
of
thought
Washington, D.C.
So I thought that they had Rick's. I thought that Rick had like a Negan bat that was modified, but you say it's what?
No, it was like a medieval, like a mace. It was like a.
But it was a baseball bat. But it had
No,
like
it wasn't a baseball bat.
But it had like these metal. I mean, it's in the shape of a bat.
Yeah, but it's a mace. It's not a bat.
Right.
It's not a baseball bat.
It just looked like something.
It's not something he modified. It's a mace. Like I said, he must have gotten it out of a museum or something like that. And then later on, they go to a fucking museum.
Yeah,
which is
like
weird.
almost
But
instantly.
anyway, like that's a look it up. That's a medieval weapon he was carrying.
Okay.
Much better than the baseball bat. It's more weighted.
I know, but don't you feel like that's him becoming
Yes.
a little too Negan-ish?
That's
Like,
him fucking
without-
holding the bigger dick than Negan is what that is.
Okay, no, I'll give you
Yeah.
that.
It's
It
better
just
than a
it feels
baseball
a bit
bat.
Walter
It's more-
White-ish,
it's
where
made-
he
a baseball
absorbed.
bat,
Remember
even
when?
with barbed wire wrapped around it, is made for baseball.
Right.
A mace is made to kill people.
Yeah.
It's weighted differently at the
Right.
top, so when you swing,
Right. Then
It's maximum-
give me that it
Right.
feels inspired by Negan.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like that's
Oh,
what
I'm sorry.
That's what I'm
I'm
meaning.
like not trying to disagree.
Yeah, no.
No,
That's,
if I'm coming off like
No.
I'm disagreeing with you on that, no, I agree. You're
I was
totally.
just- yeah.
That's him waving the bigger dick than Negan. That's just
Yeah.
exactly. That's him. Like, yeah, I beat him. Here's my fucking big stick now, motherfuckers.
Right.
Like that's exactly what it is.
it
It's almost
reminded
a
me
little-
of Walter White when he absorbed the things of the people that he killed. Like that sounds like it's supernatural. I mean, he like took on certain personality traits of them. Like Crazy 8 didn't like his crust; he had it taken off his sandwich. So then, from then on, Walter White cut the crust off his own sandwiches.
Fucking
You
serial
know what I
killer
mean?
shit.
Yeah, like just
Walter
took
White
on
was
the
a bad
traits.
motherfucker, man.
Okay, so
Was he not?
everyone's riding on horseback at this point, and then we go to the opening credits, which we already discussed. Basically,
But the horseback is
that's going to be the new form of
it
transportation.
has to be at this point
Yeah.
until they can. I don't know. Do you think it ever goes the direction it did? Do you think people just like
do you
eventually,
mean?
once it's 25 years down the road, this is building back into regular life, technology, things like this? Like,
Well, how do you ever get past the walkers being there? It would always be part of reality, and it could never really be the way it was.
but if you got far
would be
enough
some
along,
modified
but if you
version.
got far enough along into some sort of technology and developing, you could eventually cure it or fix it.
Maybe. Yeah.
But if like coming
to
up,
have that
like,
organized
we're
and-
going
yeah.
now. This is how we deal with walkers. Once you die, this is rule. Like this is you just get stabbed in the back of the head. Like no matter what. Like it becomes like a process. Like at the funeral home. Like when you
Right.
die, the spike goes into the back of your head. Like that's just reality of living now.
Right.
So we don't have the walker problem anymore. People would figure out how to. Like,
Right, you lay them on this
control
bed,
it.
you strap their head in, and then it just comes out of the
Nail.
bed,
Yeah.
right to the back of the head.
Right, just like Maggie did, nice and easy.
This is a pretty terrifying reality we're setting up here. Let's see. So the new opening credits. Any other
I
thoughts
mean,
on
zombie
them?
reality, yes, it's terrifying reality.
Any other
Any
thoughts?
kind of thing, especially if they can run. I've said this at the beginning. It's a,
If they can
it's
run.
a total different discussion. If
Right.
the fuckers can run,
It's a
we're
horrifying
totally
show.
screwed.
Yeah, it's done. Everybody's dead.
Right.
Again, any last thoughts on the opening credits, the new version of it compared to before? I feel like we went off topic.
As
when
a
we brought up-
graphic designer, sign maker,
Yeah.
it's absolutely fantastic. The whole look of it graphically,
Yeah, it
the way
takes
they
it away
did
from
the
the people.
silhouette stacking on top of each other.
It took it away from like the people. Not that it
I
was
think
really
it's-
showing people before.
If I could watch it over and over again, like watch it a few times, it's probably better, dude. It really is with the growing leaves around the
Right,
stuff
and
to
then when it
show
went
like life coming back.
as the life, and then the bird shot out of the tree.
Yeah, and then the tree grows the green
Right.
like.
But then one of the
tree.
first shots back from that is them at the sanctuary, and you see the crows, which seem to be like the birds that were in that shot.
Yeah.
Not that they were crows. I don't know. I don't know birds, so
Well, there's
somebody
crow,
might
I
correct
think
me
there's
on
crows and there's ravens are different
that. Right.
things.
Yeah, whatever. So it looked like a black bird. I'll put it that way. Let's see. So yeah, the words have green plants on them to show new life.
Wow, shit, hit the
basically.
cough button.
Yeah, nice. That's the burp button. You have to hit the other one.
Right, there's another one.
Yeah,
right there.
that's the burp
right.
button.
Oh, it says burp. I see.
Yeah,
I'm
it says
sorry. I
burp
got it
right
now.
there. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. At the museum, yeah, which you just casually mentioned about the about where Rick got his new weapon from.
Oh, before we saw it too. Like, it
Yeah,
was like
just
they
a
probably
minute
got
before.
museum, and then
Not
they go to a
even.
museum.
It was like 30 seconds later. We just paused it a few times to
was
go
great.
back and watch something.
Right.
Let's see. So
But they go into like what a museum in Washington D.C. is probably a museum of some stature.
right.
I don't know, like
Yeah,
the
I'm not
natural
sure what
history
museums
is this
are.
the Natural History Museum?
I'm not sure which museums are in Washington, D.C. specifically, or which one that was, but it's the main, it's presumably a main one. It's right there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was in front of the Washington Monument.
They had to be close to it.
It looked like the Capitol building that they left in their,
Yeah.
that they walked away from. So I like that they're exploring again,
Mm-hmm.
and not to do a plug or anything, but it really feels like Lost to Time. Which
Not
is
to
my
do a
which is my show where we explore abandoned buildings in Gary and document the decay and what's left behind. When they walked into that museum, that's
And then
what
he
it felt
CGI
like.
zombies and
No,
and
but
them
that's what
running
it
from-
felt like until the zombie behind the counter. It was like, oh shit, they're just in one of these places that we walk into all the time.
Yeah, it probably.
So
did
check
feel
that
a
out
little
on
familiar like that.
don'teva.com. DONTEVA. Anyway. Michelle
Shameless-
notices
shameless
walkers.
self-promotion.
Yeah, she notices the walkers below the glass floor at the base of the staircase. Okay, he's promoting 9 Mile branding. This isn't all video podcast. Some people listen, so you have to actually say it into the mic.
Well, thank you for saying it out loud.
9milebranding.com
All right,
if you
very
want
good.
signs and shit.
I'm pointing to a camera.
If the museum in the show needs new banners to be hung, 9 Mile branding.
Their banners were awfully damaged for things
Right.
that are hanging in the air. And I was like, what are happening? And you're like, zombies could be dropping from the rafters. What happens 2 fucking seconds later? A zombie drops from the fucking rafters.
Right.
We're like, how did he get up there? What is
Yeah.
happening?
Other floors. Yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
just way the hell up there.
And he just fell on the glass floor that they were all walking, of course.
Right.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
With a big chunk
yeah,
of
that's
rock.
exactly what I had written here. So, when are they going to run out of batteries for their flashlights?
That and bullets.
Like, if gas is going to become scarce, wouldn't batteries be on that list? Like, I predict forever torches in their future.
You mean like the atomic lighter things?
No, I mean forever torches. It's something your wife and I came up with on the Chronologically Lost podcast.
Oh, is that
The forever torches that they use in Lost, where they light something on a stick on fire and it goes forever.
It's like a wrapped piece of cloth. It
never
on a stick
burns.
and it never goes away. What? No.
It's a forever torch. I predict forever
Cloth
torches
and
in our
burns
future.
and turns to ash. This is not what happens.
Right. I don't know what it is, but yeah, whatever that is, those will be on this show at some
Right.
point.
Or like in video games, you have torches that you can just pull out of your pocket, but it's like a torch, like a stick torch. You shoot. It's like,
Right.
like what?
Yeah, where'd you get that
No.
from? How did that turn on? Is there a button? Oh my god, fuck Spider Walker. That was the worst walker I've ever seen. Seriously, like, I'll
That
give
was
this
legitimate.
show.
That was a legitimate gag reflex.
I'll give
The
this show that
tarantula
one.
crawling out of his mouth.
Oh, like genuine scare. Like
You got
that
me.
genuinely got me, and this show hasn't got me in a long time.
No, not like that.
So it's already looking
was
up in that regard.
Bugs crawling out of its eyes. I can't even like say it. My voice is rattling. When bugs crawling out of its eyes, a giant furry tarantula crawling on the side of his face. Props to the actor, because that spider was fucking real.
I don't like spiders either.
Props to the actor who let the spider crawl on his face. You probably got paid a couple $100.
That human evolution bit was
Yeah.
pretty great.
It was pretty good.
Like, just kills it. And
In the way he's standing there grinning at it,
right.
it's perfect.
Yeah.
Gabriel,
I mean,
one-eyed Amish Gabriel.
Yeah, what is up with one-eyed
Amish Gabriel?
hashtag one-eyed Amish Gabriel. Why? Yeah, why is
What?
he that?
With the hat. What's with the ominous hat, dude? Like,
Is he
like,
the
you can
Undertaker?
still be right.
I mean, I'm gonna need somebody to put
where's
together
Paul
the under.
Bearer, man? What the
I'm
fuck
gonna
is
need
going
somebody
on?
to edit him writing to the Undertaker's theme song.
It's still okay in this post-apocalyptic world to look at someone and go, dude, no.
Yeah, no, that's not a good style
hat.
choice. What are you doing, man?
I know
Like,
we're not all about style, but the
it's
hat
not
just
even
makes you look
functional.
weird.
It's in the way. You can't sit in a chair. You know,
a high back chair. You're
high
through.
back chair. I mean, those come up, I'm sure, in their world. High back chairs.
I mean,
You go into his house. He's like, yeah,
like
no,
a zombie
no,
could
no.
get a hold of your hat and knock it over your face, and then you're like, oh!
You go to his house and all. We're like, we bought you high back chairs, Gabriel. And he's like, no, they're not. And you go over to his house, they're all sawed off, all the backs of the chairs. He's
And he
like,
sits
see,
in
the
his
hat's
chair.
totally fine.
No problems.
Hat shaped hole, so you can just see, it's fine. I don't know what you guys are
Just loosely sawed into the fucking back of the chair. Come on, man. This is...
hat chair, yeah. Yeah, they call it the de-evolution of man. And one of the girls from Oceanside remembers fighting with her brother on a canoe.
Mm-hmm.
And then Daryl like starts to talk like a human does.
Yeah, instead of just like grunting and pointing.
Yeah, like he said a lot of words and
somebody
like
on the
opened
evolution
up to
chair?
her. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was one of them on the evolutionary chart for sure. I don't know. But his memories are of Merle and him fighting. You know, that's all he remembers of that. He's like, but it happens to me, and that was like such a not Daryl thing to say.
Well, he's becoming a human, like you said.
Right.
We are the Walking Dead.
We are the Walking Dead. They go into the horticulture management area of the museum, which I still haven't bothered to Google. Horticulture.
Definition of horticulture. Listeners, please shoot us one. Thank you. It's got to have something to do with plants, right?
Look up horticulture. The art or practice of garden cultivation and management.
So then what's agriculture?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Agriculture. Oh, damn it. The science or practice of farming, including cultivation of the soil for the growing of crops and the rearing of animals to provide food, wool, and other products.
All right.
So it's like
So
one
now I
level
understand
up.
the difference. Right.
Yeah, it's just one level above the growing of the crop. It's exactly what they needed to fucking find.
Right.
Like, it's perfect for what they're doing.
Well, that's why they went there.
And they only went there because Anne
Was a
Jadis
teacher there or something like that.
No, she used to be a teacher, and she took a field trip there.
Oh, is what it was.
Yeah.
And they had all kinds of seeds on
Right.
file for like this fucking occasion,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Well, I mean, Gabriel joked it was a doomsday file, but I don't know that it was. But they made a perfect one by leaving all that shit there.
Leaving all those seeds there.
Yeah,
right?
by putting
Which
it-
they gave them all kinds of shit that you probably can't find or doesn't
Right.
exist. And,
I mean, yeah,
shit for the
they're gonna be able to have, like,
We're looking
food.
to the past for the future,
Right.
like how Rick put it later on. In the
They're going to
episode.
be able to have like corn and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I
Well,
don't know
right.
what they grow and don't grow now, but presumably their crop is limited.
probably to small things that they can find seeds for, right?
Right.
And then they have to keep the seeds from the shit that they eat.
Why are you talking to me?
Right. Then they have to keep the sheet. They have to keep the seeds from the stuff that they eat. You know.
Right.
So, but yes, finding. I didn't like catch all the stuff. A couple of things that they said that they found, but I think it's a point like super important grains and things like that is what they were talking about.
That's like a wheat, right? The super important grain. That's like a wheat.
Yes.
That's
Wheats and grains, I think, is what they were talking about, which are like the basis of fucking early civilization.
Right.
When people learn to harvest
I
grains
mean, I imagine it just has everything.
and make bread.
I would imagine they just got seeds for fucking all of the essentials, whatever that is.
Food
yeah.
wise.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's amazing.
Or was it be seeds for everything?
Maybe there's trees and like plants
right.
and other shit.
I
You know,
would think
flowers.
there would be fruit
and,
trees and flowers and things that they would need for
Yeah.
right.
I mean, they could make us a paradise there. There still has to be drama on the show, which there is plenty of, but like I don't know, man. There is potential for this shit to go on as long as it wants to.
Right, but
Like
we
Rick's
want it
story,
to?
yes, and here's why. Because what if we look back 5 years from now and Rick's story was just part of something setting it in motion and it's really Judith's story? You know what I mean? And like all this was setting up her and like stuff that he put in motion made her life a certain way so that she could accomplish something in particular. You know what I mean? Like it was all leading somewhere. Yeah,
I just don't know that I'm still going to be in at that point.
No?
Like that Judith is the star of the show. I mean, like
Well,
how many
I'm just-
years are we talking on the road?
They could do time jumps
You-
again.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Fair
just
enough.
maybe Rick
Like have
coming and
old
going won't be
gray-haired-
the
like
end of
old
the world.
gray-haired Michonne, like being her like
Right.
mentor,
Yeah.
whatever.
Don't act uninterested. You talked yourself into it with that description. Gregory called for an election and lost. Rebirth of a democracy, just as Michonne stops and takes a look at the A More Perfect Union poster.
Right.
That talked about all the bad shit that had to happen for us to form the Constitution and all that. Maggie won the election, and they are trying to bring a wagon down the staircase right over the glass. You can hear the glass cracking.
Right, but I mean, like what they're
How
doing.
did they get it in there to begin with without breaking the glass?
that shit was all moved in there before the glass was put in. When they built that museum, that wasn't.
You mean
glass.
like crane lifted in and put in the side of the building
Not-
rather than up the steps?
Yes, they didn't. They carefully moved that shit up the stairs, like either with a crane or the floor was not glass there. They had plywood over the floor or
Right.
something else in place of the glass or
Okay.
covering the glass while they moved that shit up the stairs. Like they didn't carry it up the stairs, like they carried it down the stairs.
Right.
When the museum was built.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? But what they're doing is super smart. Like going for all the old shit that doesn't use that they used before electricity,
yeah.
before, you know, the combustion engine. You know what I'm saying? Before things like that, you know? That's what I'm thinking of too, is what they're talking about. A quick way back and forth. Like they're running out of
Oh, ways to get in
ways
between.
to get there. Railroads.
Yeah.
They could build.
That's what I was thinking we were going with
they
the
could
blacksmith,
build
yeah.
Railroads. Small trains going back and forth. A train engine's not. It's runs on coal. It's not gas.
Okay.
So they could potentially mine coal.
Oh,
from
good,
somewhere.
good. So they're promoting coal mining. We need more coal mining.
Hey, listen, the ozone layer's okay at this point.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Right, nothing else is fucking with
Unless
it,
the giant heaps of dead bodies are causing some sort of gas and destroying the ozone
I
layer,
would
which is a
imagine that's
potential.
not great,
But,
but-
like, there's no more factories and everything running, so like that, like the ozone layer.
Not
like,
that
to
we
me,
know of.
Well, right.
I'd
Do you
like to think there's
no,
a
okay, do
city
you think
out
there's
there.
a corner of the world that hasn't been untouched by this?
I would hope so. That'd be the coolest thing ever. To find out that like there was an island somewhere.
They just didn't know. They were just like, "What?
Yeah, what
So-
are you
what? People are raising what?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You mean the dead don't come back to life here? No.
No, what are you
What are you talking about? Like that's the island?
Hangs up phone.
Right.
Don't rips
Right.
it out of the wall. I'm not
What's that
calling
about?
them again. I told you shouldn't talk the. Oh,
It's
shut
just-
up, Sharon.
It's just a completely self-sufficient island. Like, is there such a thing?
But it's just like a couple, an older married couple, and the guy tried to call the outside, and that's what he heard, and the wife's just bitching at him in the background. I told you not to do that. Oh, shut it.
Shut up, Sharon. Shut it, Sharon.
Ezekiel falls through the glass, but is hanging on a rope. And did you notice he threw the thing and gave himself up to make
Well,
sure they
yeah.
got the thing?
Yeah.
Rather, I just thought that was rather
And then went
selfless
down,
of
yeah.
him. They
But
pull him
somebody was
out.
falling through there, and like they all were tied up to ropes, so you saw that somebody was going to fall through and hang from a rope, and
Right,
like you saw that coming a mile away.
right. Carol hugs him like she loves him and then kisses him. Aw.
Yeah, that was more surprising than the fall through the glass, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. The fall through the glass is obvious.
Yeah.
They pack everything up and horse their way out of the city. And Old West music, it's making me sort of think of Westworld. The way they're adding in like an Old Westy feel to the soundtrack. You notice that?
I mean,
Like, I'm telling you, listen to it again, watch it again at some point, or just like the city parts when they're leaving. I'm telling you, they're playing like Old Westy kind of music, and it's adding in because they're in they're pulling wagons and riding
where are
the
they
horses
filming
and
this
shit.
at?
Georgia,
It is in Georgia?
yeah,
All the whole time it's been in Georgia. Because it all looks the same.
yeah,
Like all the forests and everything all look
yeah. It's
very-
all been in
very-
Georgia.
So, but that's explainable because Georgia and Washington are probably too far apart geographically, and the terrain isn't going to be that much different from one point to another. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right.
So yeah, I just thought it was awesome that it was Washington D.C. And we sat there staring at the
We paused
picture of the
pan-out
shadow.
shot.
Yeah, when they were riding away, there was like a shadow that you could see of the Washington Monument. It had to be that. But we were looking at a picture that my buddy just took a couple weeks ago there, where he was standing on the steps of the building they were just in, and he was, the Washington Monument was behind him. There was water there. And we were looking at the thing, and it just didn't quite work. But, I mean, maybe it just overgrew and water went away. That
Okay.
would be fine.
Did they build that whole set, the staircase, for that scene?
Probably.
They had to build that whole
Yeah, I
staircase.
bet they
Like,
did.
they didn't do that inside of that museum.
No.
They replicated that and built that whole fucking thing.
Right.
And then filled in the banners with green screens and CGs and stuff like that.
Oh,
Like,
no, they totally put real banners in there
They
and
made real
destroyed them.
That makes me mad.
I know, they made
Just
banners.
they made real
Imagine you
tattered
you're
banners.
like, I made some banners for The Walking Dead. Holy shit, I can't wait to see what the fuck?
Right. They tore them all up.
They ruined them. Then we see Daryl, the javelin thrower.
Right.
Off
With
a
off the
motorcycle.
motorcycle. Right. Like, what kind of skill does that take? It takes some practice, doesn't
Right.
it?
The king and Carol admit to being scared back there, and he asks her to marry him because he can't wait on life.
Right. And she
And-
basically tells him no.
She's like, this is not happening on a horse.
She's like, yes, but not now.
right.
Is basically what she said. She's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but like, no.
Yeah, no, that'll catch on things. The ring will snag on shit. No.
Right.
And he says, I love you and I always will. So Route B has a bridge down. I let out another awe when Maggie needs to get home to Herschel. Aw.
Oh, Herschel, the name of the baby. Aw.
And then she wrote bridge out.
So I imagine his name is Herschel Glenn.
I would think so. If it's not, fuck you,
That-
Maggie.
That fits though, right?
Herschel Glenn?
Herschel Glenn works as a name.
Herschel Glenn Rhee. Isn't that her last name?
I don't-
Maggie Rhee?
I have no idea.
Rhee. I think that was Glenn's last name.
No idea.
Vape break.
Well, I hit that one.
They came up to some mud and the horses couldn't pull the trailers through. A herd starts coming down the road just as they get the trailer out. Daryl and Michonne clear the road.
Thinking of the one guy that like shoes the horses, like we were talking about. They're just a small, simple thing, but if you're gonna ride horses long distances, they have to be shoed,
Right.
Or else they'll
it's-
stop walking because
their feet will be hurting.
Right. So they put the metal shoes on their feet that protects their feet. So
Right.
if somebody's doing that, making horseshoes and
Oh, we
shoeing
forgot
horses-
to mention when you first saw them.
The two guys
in the scene with the when they were pulling the thing down the stairs. Jeremy paused it and he's like, I just wanted to get a clear look at those guys because they're going to be dead by the end of this episode.
One of them
If
definitely
not
was.
this scene. And yeah, one of them absolutely was right here. His
Yeah.
name was Ken.
He was the horseshoer.
Yeah. He
Not
tries
shooing
to-
horses away. He put shoes on horses.
Yes, he tries to free the horse, gets bit, and then kicked to fucking death by the horse.
basically kicks him to death.
Yeah.
Because, like, honestly, it would have been horrifying, but they could have chopped his arm off at that point, and he probably would have
He would have lived, yeah.
with one arm. But the
horse kick
to the
killed him.
Kid him, like, right here.
People don't die that quick when they get bit.
No.
Like, they would
No.
have to
On
have
the
bled
arm.
out.
Like,
yeah.
on the neck, maybe, but on the arm.
Yeah, no.
You know, no. The horse, and he was like, trying to catch his breath.
Right.
Yeah, the horse kick is what killed him,
Right.
for sure.
So then we return to Hilltop where they have working clocks and Grace Under Fire. I mean, the Brett Butler. is that her name?
Right. Going back to the horse thing real quick, I'm sorry, but, like,
Yeah, sure.
if he would have just been out of the way, the horse probably would have kicked the zombie and been okay. Like, the horse would have reared back and kicked that fucking thing, and it would have destroyed the fucking zombie.
Right.
you know?
It probably,
Right.
probably would have kicked right through it.
Right.
But he wouldn't have known it was going to kick. If he knew it was going to kick, he probably would have moved.
Right. Poor dude.
But he
Then they
was, he
showed
was
that
distracted.
when they pulled his.
yeah.
They pulled the
I
shirt
thought
out,
for a
they
second
showed-
it was a bite or like something, but then it was like, oh yeah, horseshoe. Yeah.
That's what fucking got
Clearly
him. Right
got
there,
him. Maggie's explaining to Ken's parents, and the mother is pissed. She asks the dad what kind of man he is just to let this go, and she asks him in such a shitty tone, and he's like, "I'm no kind of man." And then she's like, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that." You know,
Right.
like that's how she reacted. It was
Right.
like, "No, that's exactly how you meant it."
Right.
You were trying to demoralize him, and when he got demoralized by it, you were like, "Oh God, I'm
Right.
feeling worse now."
Right. Thanks,
So-
Rhett Butler. How the fuck did she get on the show?
I don't know. She's still
God.
pissed about the saviors existing, just in general. That's her bitch.
Oh, that's what got her this.
Alden is his name. The guy that sang the song at the funeral.
He was the guy in the cage in last season trying to talk.
Right. He was like
He had the group
good,
of the good savior, right.
basically. He was singing the lyrics to "The Last Rose of Summer," a poem by Irish poet Thomas More. I mean, I wrote it down, but do we really?
Isn't
care?
Thomas More? Is that the same poet that wrote the poem that Leslie gave to Ron Swanson?
Oh, I'm gonna have to find out real quick. Come on, give me something here. Who is it by? Oh, come on, where is it at? It is from... It doesn't say.
Oh, come on.
Here's Burns's... Oh, yeah, no, it's
Oh,
somebody
okay, it's not
else.
the same
Never
guy.
mind, no.
All right.
Anyway, I'm not going to read the poem. It was a thing, you know. It's I
No,
mean,
I don't have to read it. No, absolutely not. No, it'll make me cry.
At the sanctuary, no, not the Leslie poem, or not the Swanson poem.
Yeah. Oh no, not that. Okay, the one from the one from the
Yeah,
show. Yeah,
the
don't
end of
read
the
that.
poem reads, "So soon may I follow when friendships decay, and from love's shining circle the gems drop away. When true hearts lie withered and fond ones are flown, oh, who would inhabit this bleak world alone?" At the sanctuary, Rick Grimes is here.
Famous Rick Grimes.
They claim he's the man who stopped the war, and Daryl refuses to stand up on a stage and talk to them like Negan.
Right.
And someone's like, "Well, tell him." He's like, "I ain't fucking going up there. No, that's
Right.
not how this works." Then they see the "We Are Still Negan" on the wall.
Right. Savior, save us.
Justin is charged with painting over it. He's from the 100, and like you said, a bunch of other
Black
things.
Sails. He is in. Right. And other stuff I've seen him pop up in. He was in Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been that guy's been in all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
Right.
At the hilltop, Gregory gives a speech for the funeral, and Jesus talks to Gregory, who says he's grateful for where he is, and they
This
close the
asshole.
casket.
Like scrounging up votes off at a kid's funeral is what he's doing for the
He's
next
trying
election.
No, he got exactly what he wanted out of it. The dad's.
Oh, okay,
him-
right.
Yeah, that's what he was
Right.
going for.
So I was even off. Like he was going further than that. He was trying
Yeah,
to
way
get Maggie
worse.
killed. Right.
Yeah, at the sanctuary, they're concerned. Yeah, he didn't win an election. He lost an election. He
Right.
wanted her
Right.
out so he would win by default.
Right. Right.
At the sanctuary, they're concerned about their crops. They bring the seeds, and he's like, "Bless you, Rick Grimes."
Their crops, and Daryl was saying that nothing grows there. Like there's no good soil where they're at. It's a factory.
He doesn't want to lead the Saviors anymore. He doesn't like being inside these walls again. He's like, yeah, nothing grows here. It's a factory. Pretty soon it's going to be more than a day's ride from one spot to another. Gas
So like,
is
why
running
not
out.
abandon that place and like have these people move into the other 3 communities?
I don't know. I always got
And
the
expand
impression
them.
Alexandria had plenty of houses in it.
Right.
But I could be wrong.
And like all the people that have gotten killed there's got to be some openings. There's
Right.
got to be some vacancies.
Right. I don't know.
a lot of the houses did get. Jeez.
You all right? Jeremy is having a coughing
burned
fit.
down.
Oh,
A
did
lot of the
they?
houses that get burned down and they're grenading.
Oh, right. Okay. Well,
Remember the mortaring?
right. So Daryl.
Maggie looked like she was doing some expanding, some building construction.
Right. Rick and Daryl are talking about gas running out, and Rick says it's on us to figure it out. And he's like, there is no us anymore. The small group we had back in the beginning, we could do anything. That was right. And Daryl just wants to go to Hilltop to check on Maggie, and someone has to take his place if he leaves. And he's like, we're not together because things have changed. He's like, yeah, to be fair, Rick, you changed him. So I thought that was sort of like a, oh, damn moment, you know, like.
Yeah, it was kind of.
So Daryl doesn't necessarily agree with the way things are. But what would you rather do? I mean, kill all the Saviors?
So he's almost kind of with Maggie at that point, because that's kind of what she felt like should have been done.
Right.
Like all those people should have just been wiped out. And not that they haven't fucking done that.
Thought I muted that.
Right?
Not that they haven't done what?
Wiped a fucking group of people off the fucking face of the planet because they were fucking with them.
Yeah, they're not.
A la fucking...
They're not above that.
What do you call it?
Shit, I forgot the name of the thing that they did
The
that to.
train.
Oh, shit, Terminus.
Terminus.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, they wiped most of them people out.
Yeah. At the Hilltop, Gregory offers alcohol to Tammy. Apparently, her husband doesn't drink. Isn't that what they were saying? That he was dry.
Yeah,
You know.
he's sober.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't know what to do, so he puts her to bed, and she just wants to sleep. And then Gregory offers to sit with him.
And give him a drink.
Right. At the sanctuary, Daryl shares a smoke with Carol. She puts it out. How stale are the cigarettes at this point, you think? You think they'd be okay because they're still wrapped?
Yeah.
Yeah, just fine forever?
So many preservatives and that shit.
How many cigarettes do you think people, you know...
I mean, it depends on, like, if you find them. Like, I would think that would be a big thing people would take.
Right.
Like, from places.
Oh, in the apocalypse, I'm smoking cigarettes again.
Oh, get it. No doubt about it.
Right? In a
Right.
second. I'm
Back to
lighting
a
it.
pack a day
Yeah,
in a second.
easily.
Right.
A second. What do I want to live till I'm 90 in an apocalypse?
That's one of the apocalyptic excursions me and you are taking. We're going to Walmart to hit the cigarette section, is what we're doing. We're coming back with shopping carts full of cigarettes.
People are getting shot at Walmart now. I don't want to go there when it's an apocalypse or post.
Fuck medicine. We're going to get the shit that's going to kill us.
Yeah, we need the cigarettes. I need insulin as well. Insulin and cigarettes.
I would think your diabetes would eventually just go away.
Yeah, thanks. I wish that were the case.
With
And,
the way
your
you-
fucking smelling thing is going to just go away at some point. It's
mean-
never going away. You're always going to have it, so don't ever.
The apocalypse?
No,
You're not
in the
eating-
apocalypse. You're going to smell everything. All of the bad smells we have to
Oh
put
my
up
God!
with.
Would that not be the sense that you would want to be minus in the apocalypse?
That
Is
would
all
be
the
the
dead
best.
bodies?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want to smell all that.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take it.
So anyway, Carol and Daryl are talking. Carol and Daryl, yeah, Carol and Daryl. That sounds stupid. They don't sleep yet. Ezekiel sleeps like a baby. He's like, does he snore fancy too? He's all
They're
jealous.
teasing him, right?
Yeah, he seems a little jealous of that. He's a bit
I think it
corny,
looks
but he's all right.
Carol more like a mom.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought there was a thing at one point. There was a potential for.
I
a
thought
thing.
it was mom thing, like mother and son kind of a love, like best friend kind of thing. I don't know. Like
Maybe.
Daryl probably never had like a good upbringing. I would imagine. You know, Merle, his brother, was probably the one who raised him.
Right. So she says after what she went through with Ed, Corny's really nice, and he says if anyone deserves to be happy, it's her. but he doesn't like not seeing her. For a second there, when he said if anybody deserves to be happy, I almost thought he was talking about between the two of them. You know, like, that's where I was thinking, like, maybe he was into her and he was thinking if we were together, we'd be happy. But if any of us deserve to be happy, it's you.
Right.
You know, so like,
Well, because
I'll
all the
take
shit
it.
she was going through probably
Right.
before the apocalypse happened.
Right.
And then at the beginning of it, you know,
Right.
her husband was still being an asshole.
So Carol
Forget
wants
how
to
he-
take over
How did
this.
he get killed? Did she kill him?
I don't remember if it was her or Daryl or Merle or something. I can't remember who killed her husband. Damn. It's been a long ass time, man. I haven't revisited this show in forever.
9 seasons.
Carol wants to take over at the sanctuary for a while. She tells him he asked her to marry him, and she wanted to say yes, and then they have a cuddle.
Yeah. Nice.
At the hilltop, Dad
I
is...
said at that point, it was like, do we get a fucking Walking Dead wedding before the end of the season, you think? Do we get a royal wedding in The Walking Dead?
a royal wedding.
Come on.
I hope so.
It'd be pretty awesome.
At the hilltop, the dad is ranting about Ken not needing to be out there.
A walking wedding.
Walking wedding. The wedding dead.
The wedding dead. That's better.
He's looking for justice.
Damn it, you always beat me in this thing.
It's the only way I work.
Right.
My genius is in taking other people's shit and tweaking it a little bit better. That's it. I wouldn't have come up with the wedding dead any
All
other
right,
way.
the wedding dead. I like that.
He's looking for justice, and Gregory is giving him alcohol, and says the election's a joke. Jesus counted the ballots, and he's really pushing for an uprising.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to be the leader.
He's such a prick. I hate
Yeah.
the guy so much.
So at Alexandria, Rick's washing up, and he and Michonne cuddle. The famous Rick Grimes. They laugh, you know. They don't envy Maggie. Michonne says, seeing his name on the wall, you know, did we do the right thing? Maybe they should have killed him. And they don't want Negan, they want food.
Right.
So maybe they need an agreement between the communities, rules and shit, you know?
Which makes sense.
Yeah. If Daryl is
What
worried...
did she call it? A charter?
Yeah. If Daryl's worried, there's a reason, you know, and Rick's like, I want to fix the bridge. Michonne will get people to agree to a charter, not a constitution. I don't know why that wording matters, but it seems to. What are you thinking?
I don't know. Probably a touchy subject.
What? Constitution versus charter?
Yeah, I think.
Well, you're talking history.
It's a historical race thing, maybe. Maybe the Constitution
was like
was
historically racist. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it had
I
something
would
to do with
imagine
people
it
being
would.
able to own slaves, didn't it? Like they were, like I don't
Maybe.
know, in the Constitution that was it. Like there was laws saying people could own other people until those laws were abolished. So there was definitely laws regarding
There probably
slavery.
was
So
stuff
maybe
in
like
there, yeah.
calling it a Constitution was calling it something different, a charter or something.
Maybe that was bugging her personally, you mean?
Right.
Like she wouldn't
Why
like... Yeah, I don't
that
know.
would be a thing in this post-apocalyptic? Like I think with the whole race thing would kind of go out the window.
Yeah, you would think
In
so.
this area,
Human
it's like
race.
human, like we're all humans
Yeah.
at this point. Like it doesn't really matter what
Right.
color you are.
Yeah,
But,
nobody
like,
thought, what's his
so
name?
that, but I don't know
Nobody
why
thought
that's what
Sadiq
came.
was like a bad guy because he was Arabic or Muslim.
No,
or whatever, you know what I mean?
no,
it
that-
wasn't
that-
even a
that-
concern.
That didn't even cross my mind.
Right. I only thought of it
Right.
just now
Not that
when
I
you
think
said
that, right? Yeah, but like the way people think like that, like
Yeah.
it's not like that
It's
didn't
not
even
a
cross
thing.
like right.
it's
I
the
didn't even
best
think about it
thing to
like
come
that.
out of the
Right,
apocalypse.
it's- right. People coming together. But
Let's
the
see.
whole like that was the first thing that came to my mind when she corrected him like that charter.
Right.
You know, like was
Rick,
It has
Rick
something to
wants
do
to
with that.
know how he got so lucky finding her, and she's like, "We've both lost enough. You know, it's about time we win something."
yeah, right. I feel like she shouldn't have said that.
So Maggie's pushing Herschel, and Gregory comes up and talks to her, and he tells her someone defaced Glenn's grave. And I hope it wasn't that someone was angry. Fucking douchebag. So someone slaps Maggie and knocks over the stroller. Guy knocks Enid down, and it was Ken's dad.
Right.
She pulls off the hood like an episode of Scooby-Doo. I would have got
Seriously.
away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
Right. But after she like disarmed him, right? And, like,
Yeah, she disarmed him. Hmm. She confronts Gregory, and he's like, "You want to lead this place? You can't even murder someone right."
right. But then he kind of comes after her.
Yeah, you're just Rick's
Of course.
lackey, and he tries to kill Maggie, and she almost kills him, but stops herself just at his throat. And I was like, why? I see why later. At the
there's
sanctuary,
there's a
Carol
why.
tells the king she's not running away. And he's like, it sort of seems like it. And he's content to move at her speed, and the king and Jerry leave. Then we go back to the last scene of the episode, and it's at the hilltop where Daryl, Michonne, and Rick arrive, and they see Maggie's face, and Rick is holding Herschel. He wants her to visit Alexandria, and I'm assuming she won't just because of Negan being there.
Right.
Judith is always talking about her. Maggie's like, can we just literally talk about anything else, please? Literally anything else? He needs her help fixing the bridge, and Hilltop has given so much already, but he's asking for more. He's asking if she'll be generous again. And if her people want to work on the bridge, she won't stop them, but no more food and supplies without working for it. I mean, it makes sense.
Well, it's something in return. And
Right.
she's just asking for the people at the sanctuary to come and help build the bridge is what she asked for.
Right.
But then she asked for all the cornfield.
Right. She'll feed the sanctuary, but they provide the labor on the bridge and give up their cornfields. Sanctuary's barely holding on. Aren't we obliged to help? And she's like, when we were fighting the saviors, or no, it was basically like, yeah,
We didn't
no,
kill
we
them.
let them live. We spared them. They surrendered. When we were fighting the saviors, you said soon you'd be the one following me, but you didn't because I wasn't someone to follow. That changes now. Ooh. And then we get the scene where it changes. You know,
Right.
Maggie says, I don't want to do this, but at Hilltop, the punishment fits the crime. She asks if he has any final words, and you see the dad standing
Right.
there by somebody, and you think
But
he's going to
she
say
looks
something.
right
She's not
past him.
talking to him. It pans over to that massive structure. Is that built to hang people? Or was that just like a
I think it's a
byproduct
building,
of it?
and then that
It just
right.
happened to have a hanging
Right.
section. So, yeah, he's going to be hung, and she's like accusing her of being ashamed by doing it in the dark, and she's like, I'm not ashamed. He begs for it to be stopped, and right as he's about to be hung, and she calls for it, two kids walk around the corner, and Michonne is screaming the way Maggie was at the end of the last season
Right.
about killing him, but she's saying, no, don't.
Right.
You know, like the exact opposite.
And Maggie just goes,
Maggie's the one going, no, go ahead and do it. So, like,
Right.
there has to be some parallel there with Rick that's leading us to see Maggie may be better off or maybe not. You know what I mean? She's going to make a different call than Rick would.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. And she says, I made this decision, but this is not the beginning of something. I don't want to go through it again. And
Basically,
as they're showing everybody reacting to it, it took a second. But you see something swing past the camera.
Yeah.
And as it's revealing a new person each time. Like, it would go back and forth across one person, then the next time back and forth, different person. And it was like, holy shit, that's the body swinging. So fucking awesome.
Yeah, what a great shot.
And then cuts him down, and boom, end of episode.
Right. It's good stuff.
So,
It's kind of a slow-moving opener.
you think so? It felt like a lot of stuff was happening.
Yeah, I know, man, but like I just go back to
Compared to last season when it was like stuff happening, but it didn't really feel like anything was happening.
I feel like it was kind of the same.
The war took 4
like
episodes.
the same pacing.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I disagree. I feel like this moved. This one actually felt like stuff was happening. You know, it didn't take 3 episodes for them to find the museum, go to it, pick out the stuff they wanted, come back. You know what I mean? Like, it was just one quick thing. It happened in like 10 minutes.
Right.
You know, I don't know. And I appreciate the world exploring. I love that kind of shit on here. I wish they would do more of it.
They have to now. They have to explore more to
They're
find
gonna
more
have
shit.
to, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really have any other things. Make sure you check out all the other Jay and Jack or all the Jay and Jack shows at jayandjack.com. They have a
Make our
network of
predictions.
their own podcasts. They have a bunch of other shows. Check them out. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Go to don'teva.com. That'll get you to the YouTube channel. And iTunes for the podcasts. Sorry, a little rusty on the opening and ending bits here today. And so predictions for how Jack's going to die.
Rick.
I was thinking Lost for a second, sorry.
So have you thought about it? Like, what do you think?
You go first. What do you think for how he's going to die?
I think it's the midpoint of the season. It's the mid-season finale.
Okay.
Rick dies.
I'm thinking beginning of episode 7.
Do you think it's I think it's Maggie.
You think it's going to be like a betrayal, like somebody kills him, like somebody that we know and love, so to speak, kills him, as opposed to it being a walker death or an accident, or
Yeah, I think
I
it's
feel like it's
okay.
going to be an accident.
God, the fucking throat thing is really bugging me.
Yeah, that's what all the comments are saying too. Yeah, Jeremy's throat thing. Fuck off.
Yeah, I think it's
You think
somebody
it's
he
gonna
knows,
be
somebody he trusts.
Like Daryl or Daryl or
Daryl's a good one too.
I don't know. I'm hoping that it's an accident thing. Or I don't know, because like if it's anybody there, then all you're waiting for is their demise. So like if you're going to go that route, why not have it be Negan? You know, cuz if Negan gets out and kills Rick and usurps the power, that could be it. I mean, I don't want that.
Living under Negan again? Like,
I don't want
no
that
fun.
necessarily. I'm just saying he's not there for nothing.
Can't even like breathe in without wanting to like cough all over the place.
He's got to be a factor in the show. You know, I don't think he's just going to rot in prison for the rest of the series,
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
right? So
No.
like, do you think somebody will try to let him out and trust him, or
Yeah,
where do you think that's
obviously.
going? You think that's what it's going to do? Like somebody besides Rick, it's not going to be Rick letting him out. Or do you think Rick tries to do that and that gets him killed?
Yeah. That
And then they
Well,
could still
we're just
lock Negan up
discussing,
or
yeah,
kill
but like
him.
we're not giving like I'm saying it's episode 8 and it's somebody he trusts.
Okay. I'm saying the beginning of episode 7.
Beginning of episode 7.
Yes. Beginning of episode 7. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a betrayal, but I'd like it to, I don't know if I want it to be an accident either. I don't know how I don't want Rick to die. My prediction, Rick never dies.
So he walks off into the sunset somehow? Is that what you're saying?
I mean,
Like he leaves? He decides to leave?
yeah.
Like that's like I'm okay with that because then there's a potential of him returning for a cameo at some point or coming back and 2-3 seasons down the road you're like, what?
Right.
Rick Grimes coming back with the fucking post-apocalyptic.
Maybe he has to leave for some reason.
something like that.
Maybe he gets a call
Takes
and he
Judith
has
and
a
just goes and just decides to just take off. And
No,
leave.
but then that's a series you want to watch.
Rick and Judith.
Yeah.
Rick and Judith, The Walking Dead.
So anyway, we'll be back next week to discuss the second episode. Leave any comments on YouTube or Facebook or etc. Subscribe, blah, blah, blah. See you later.
This is how to watch TV.
All these memories in my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind, my mind. I'm still a secret lemonade drinker.